Hello everyone, so today I'm going to show you how I am going to make a sequin bikini. And first of all, I'm going to start with the materials that I'm using. So here we go. So I apologize about the mess, but I'm going to clear off my desk a little bit more later. This is the fabric that I'm going to be using. It's a very iridescent sequin material. I love it so much. I've used it before for making a nice cocktail dress, also making the stole. This is going to be the bra padding. This is another bikini that I made that I'm going to use as a pattern. This is going to be the lining. So both of these are one-way stretch, meaning that I have to be very careful of how I cut these out. And here is the pattern for the bottoms. And as you can see, slightly, I know this is like hard and difficult to see, but this is pretty much the pattern for the bottoms. As you can see, this is the front and this is the back. And the front is a little bit longer than the back, and then these are the strings. This is going to be the piping that's going to be around this, and I know that doesn't make sense, but I will show you what I mean when I am done with it. And then these are going to be the straps, so I'm going to save myself a little bit of time with the straps. And this is what I'm using, if you can see it. Maybe it's better if I do that. And so yeah, we're gonna get started on this. And you know, the scariest part is pretty much just cutting out the fabric. And so yeah, we'll see how it goes. So just on another note, I am going to be sewing this by hand because my sewing machine has just lost a piece of it that I don't want to just break my machine. It's very good for things like sewing like knits and cottons and things like that, but when it comes to more my faux fur and my sequins, I like to sew that typically by hand. And it just takes a little bit more time, which is fine by me. It's very therapeutic anyways when I sew. It's not like, oh no, this is just taking too much time. It's about getting it right for me. And I also like sewing by hand because I feel like I have more control over just like where each stitch is placed. As with the sewing machine, I like to really do it fast and it just goes right through, and then I'm like, oh crap. And then if I don't like it, I have to take it out later. It's very annoying. Sewing is just a process, so you know. So I'm gonna get this started, and like I said, the scariest thing is pretty much just cutting out the fabric, and you know, so we'll see how it goes because this fabric is not cheap. This iridescent fabric that I love. I just love it so much, and oh, I just want it to not go to waste. And then I have to go get more and everything. I don't even know if they make this really anymore at Joann's because I bought this a couple years ago. So I'm just hoping that I can just cut this and nothing will go wrong. Meaning like I need to cut more of it off or anything like that. So let's just hope for the best with this. And yeah, so I'm starting with the bottoms first because the bottom is going to be a little bit easier to sew than the top because I'm going to try and put that nice bra padding in there to give it some shape in that area. Also, I don't think I've used the padding except for when I made the bandeau bikini, but this time I want to just have that for the sequin just because it will look really nice having that smooth surface over, you know, the bikini. It's just going to look really cool and everything like that. So yeah, let's get started. Also, I want to make a shout out to my sister for giving me this wonderful pillow that I got on Christmas. It is wonderful. Of course, it's like this fabric that I love. And yeah. Thank you. Love you. So another thing I like to do when I am cutting out the fabric, and this part is pretty important in this project. I like to pin down where it's gonna be, because when I cut it, it is gonna move around all over the place. I am basically like, I don't have a lot of, you know, tools and, you know, stuff like that. So I'm just cutting it here on the floor. I know, but you know what? Like, it's okay. Like, it's about getting it done and doing it right. And, you know, you can always like wash it later. And so I just pin it to the fabric. I like to pin it as close to the edge as much as possible, so I have all this fabric left, meaning like I'm not cutting it like smack dab in the middle of my fabric, and you know, I just don't have a whole lot of it left. So this is what I'm doing, and now I'm ready to cut it out. All right, and so this is it cut out, and I gave it a little bit of seam allowance, so that way when I sew it together, it should be the exact same as this. And if not, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I pretty much do this with all my fabrics, and I did this with the bikini as well. Just got out a pattern, and it looks pretty good on. And I'm gonna have piping on this too. So yeah, now I'm going to take off the pattern, and I'm just going to pin the two things that I'm sewing together, and then we can get to the fun part, which is the sewing. All right, thank you. Hi everyone. So I haven't made a video in a while, and I apologize about that. A lot has happened, and so I'm getting started on the next part of the bikini making process. So let me show you what I have done so far. So I have finally completed the lining on the bikini, and that pretty much, I had to hand sew that lining all the way down here. I safety pinned some strips so I know how it looks on me. And now I'm getting to this part where I'm putting the black lining on top of it. And so in my next video, I will show you what it looks like complete. And yes, thank you for watching this process with me. So I am finally done with my sequin bikini, and I am so glad that I am done with this. It was so much work, but here it is. And so what I did was I hand sewed this lining together, one side, right sides together, and then I did the lining here like this, and then I put the straps on. And it did take a lot of time doing this by hand, but I tried it on as well, and it does fit. And yeah, it's really good. And so now what I'm going to do after I have this is I'm going to now sew the top, which is going to be similar to this. This is sort of like my pattern. That's going to be like to this. And so yeah, the top is going to be, I think maybe a little bit harder, maybe not, but we'll see. So at least half of it is done. So thank you for watching.